Hello, I didn't even see you there. I crack myself up. Welcome to this Monday's edition of our Aaptiv mental health workthroughs. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to my home. I'm Katie Horwich. I am a writer, I'm a speaker, and I am, as you are probably most familiar with, one of the coaches on Aaptiv. I see people starting to join. I'm going to wave to some of you as you're joining. I always love doing this every week. Let me know where you're joining from. And let's play the emoji game again. Why don't you leave an emoji that describes how you are feeling right now, going into the week, going into your day. It's the middle of May, which I don't know how that happened. Leave an emoji telling me how you are feeling. I'm also going to pin on here, I've never done this before, but I'm going to pin on here mental health work through with at Katie Horwich. For anybody who's joining and is like, what is going on here? There we go. Let's do that. I don't know if I'm able to pin that. Let's see. I don't know how to do it. That's okay. We're all learning new things. We have people tuning in from Canada, from Germany. Looks like some people are feeling sunny like a sunflower. Some people are feeling kind of, I don't know, they're feeling themselves. I see a couple of these faces. I feel like that's been these last 10 weeks is just all like this. Graduating senior from high school and no real ceremony. Oh my goodness, everybody. We have a graduating senior from high school on here. If you could throw some confetti into the feed so that we can celebrate any of the graduates who are tuning in, whether they're tuning in they just graduated from high school, from college. Let's celebrate them. That is so awesome. Congratulations. You have so much to be proud of. I'm proud of you, but as I say in all of my workouts, I hope that you are just as proud, if not even more proud of you. You are a rock star. Look at all of you. Hey, Frankie, I love this community. I love how much you all celebrate each other. I love how willing you are to celebrate yourselves mostly, because that's something that we're not really taught to do and we're not really encouraged to do in this society, right? It's all about figuring out the problems and moving through the obstacles, which is great. However, so many times we don't stop and celebrate our small but really big accomplishments along the way. Before we get into this mental health workthrough, speaking of small things that make a big difference, I'm just gonna plug that last week, my dear friend, we've been friends for over a decade now, Nicole Shaka and I just launched a new program in the app called Shift Your Mindset, and it's running, meditation, yoga, stretching, and what's really cool about it is that if you go and you sign up for the program, you can get this whole list of daily small changes that you can make that are so small, literally like make extra food for dinner so that you can have the leftovers for lunch the next day. So small changes that will make a really big difference in the long run. Uli says it's amazing. Yes, Uli, you have been a rock star in this program. I know that a lot of you who are joining right now are in the program already, and if you're not, we would love to have you join. So let's get into today's mental health workthrough. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I am so happy to have you here. Here's how these work. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time, my dear friend Jamie leads a workout. However, at the beginning of all of this, what I'm calling For Now Normal, I realized that the way that we start our week is really so imperative to our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health. And so what we do is every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we come on here, and for about 20 minutes or so, we go through a mindset shift or a pep talk or an exercise that can help set you up for success for the rest of the week, fitness and otherwise. Now, I always say that fitness advice is just life advice in disguise. So even when we talk about fitness related stuff, usually there are a lot of lessons that we can bring with us into our non-fitness life. So today, I would love to talk about what do you do when things are just not going according to plan. It's not about making yourself bulletproof. It's not about making yourself invincible. Today, I'm going to talk about making yourself oof-proof. So, when you have those times where maybe you're working out or you're doing something for work, or maybe you plan something for yourself or your family and it just doesn't go the way that you planned, and you're just like, oof, I'm so upset, I'm so frustrated. And sometimes those moments can derail us completely. I know that for a long period of my life, I was that person. And look, I'm still that person probably at least 30% of the time, where something won't go as planned and I will get discouraged. I will get flustered. And what I've learned throughout my years on this planet is that it's really important to expect for things to go right while still preparing for things to go wrong. So there's two parts to this. You might have heard before a phrase like, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Now, I have a couple issues with that phrasing. Number one, I like to say expect things instead of hope for things, because hope still feels like it's a little up in the clouds, right? Hope still feels like there are a lot of elements that are not in our control, and we can just like sit here, cross our fingers, close our eyes, and hope for the best. Expectation, however, for me, like I said, I'm a writer and a speaker, so words are really important to me. Expectation is more proactive. So taking the proactive steps for things to go, like I said, not the best, but things to go right, for things to go the way that you expect them to go. And then preparing for not the worst, but for things to go wrong. Because I don't know about you, but some of the best moments in my life have been when things don't actually go according to plan, when they go wrong. And so it's not about best or worst, because if things don't go according to plan, you actually don't know how that's going to feel in your body. So we want to expect for things to go right while still preparing for things to go wrong. And expectation and preparation can go hand in hand, and that's why I love using those words. So hi Kenny. Kenny's joining. Some of the other trainers are joining. Amazing. This is actually a great time for some of the other trainers to join, because I feel like they're going to feel me on this story that I'm about to tell. So most of us, if not all of us, have taught group fitness classes at some point in our lives, as far as the trainers on the trainer team. Whether we teach them right now or we've taught them in the past, group fitness, and specifically teaching in a studio atmosphere, that has been something that's been a part of our lives and our journeys as trainers and coaches. Now, as a group fitness instructor, you learn very quickly that you always carry a bag full of backups. You carry extra batteries with you, because there's a chance that the microphone in the studio has been drained of its batteries by the instructors who have used it beforehand. You bring extra windscreens, because it's not always certain that you're going to have a windscreen there waiting for you. It's that little styrofoam thing that you put on a microphone so that your spit isn't getting all over the microphone. You bring extra socks. You make a backup to a playlist that you have. Ideally, you bring extra ways to play your music. You get the idea. You bring all of the backups with you. So again, you're expecting for things to go right in your class. At the same time, you're preparing for things to go wrong so that you can pivot on a dime. Uli says, I know where this is going. Yes, Uli knows where this is going, because Uli experienced yesterday when I decided to finally, after 10 weeks, teach my very first private group fitness class on Zoom. Now, this is something that I was super pumped about, that I had spent all of this time thinking, should I, shouldn't I, what can I add to the space? And I really landed on a class that I was really pumped about. I did all of the setup in Zoom. I sent the class out into my email list. I felt like, all right, I am set. I have got this. So yesterday at 11 a.m. comes, and I sign on early, because something you also learn as a group fitness instructor is that you arrive to your class early so that you can greet people. So I arrive early, I see that people are starting to join, I start to greet them, and I realize that I can't hear or see anyone. And I don't know what's going on. And I'm typing things in the Zoom chat box saying, can anybody hear me? I'm trying to pantomime saying like, can anybody hear me? I'm getting crickets. And so fortunately, a couple of my friends are on the Zoom, and I text them and I say, can you hear me? And they're like, nope, nothing. They can't hear me. And not only can they not hear me, they can't see me. And my heart is starting to go like this, because not only is this a new project that I'm taking on for myself, that I have invested a lot physically, mentally, and emotionally in, this is an entirely new platform that, yeah, I've used for meetings, I've used for interviews, but I've never used to actually teach a class. So just everything is going completely wrong. I freak out for a second. I don't know what to do. Thankfully, my husband is sitting right there. And after about 10 minutes of trying to troubleshoot and people are popping on and I'm like, I don't know how to get to you, he puts together a Google Hangout. While he's putting on the Google Hangout, I am texting my friend who is still on Zoom, who can get across to other people. She's saying, I will let people know what's happening. I'm devising an email. My husband sends me the link to the Google Hangout. I put the link in a new email. I send it to people. I cross my fingers that people are going to join. I go to the Google Hangout and people start to join. And finally, I start to exhale. And at that point, my tears of sadness start to turn into tears of gladness. But I'm like, Katie, you know that crying is not a weakness, so that's great. However, if you start to cry right now, it's going to totally take you out of your zone. So let's keep it together. And then Kirsten says, when will you start class? This is it. This is the mental health workthrough. Class is at 1 with Jamie. Back to the story about my class. I start to teach class, and we had about half of the people show up who were planning on showing up, who had shown up for the Zoom. So that reminded me that no matter what you do, it is so important to get clear on what your overarching goals are and plan a plan B, plan C, and a plan D. So I learned from that experience. We had an incredible time, such a fun experience. I was so sad that some people weren't able to join. However, I am going to be doing it again. I offered them different ways to join us to make up for the experience that they lost out on. But now I know to provide ways to troubleshoot right off the bat. So when it comes to making yourself oof-proof, you want to get clear on your goal for whatever the situation is, whether it is a meeting, a workout, going grocery shopping, something for work, something for your family, planning your solo time, creating a plan B where you can go. So that was like the Google Hangout for me, where you can go if things go wrong. And then if that doesn't work out, what's the next level? Plan C. What's something that will still accomplish the goal that you... We paused for a second. What will help you set get the goal that you accomplished, maybe just in a different way. And then the plan D, most people just go to plan B and stop there. I like to create 3 different options for myself, because plan D, that is the most distilled thing that will get you the base of what you're after. So let's say that you're going grocery shopping and you want to make spaghetti and meatballs. You are planning on getting the spaghetti, the ground meat, and the tomatoes to make your beautiful tomato sauce. If they don't have the spaghetti that you're after, what's the plan B, plan C, plan D? If they don't have the meatballs, what's the plan B, plan C, plan D? And again, this can work with your family, with solo time. This is actually a great exercise to do with kids and as a family, because it gets kids and your insular community getting curious about what you can do and like strategizing as a family. It's a way to take back power in those moments where you might feel thrown for a loop or a little bit powerless. It looks like awesome. It looks like this is resonating with a lot of you. You can throw some hearts, some thumbs up. If you have an experience that you've gone through where you've had to create a plan B, plan C, plan D, I would love for you to share it here. We have a little bit of time, so if you have some questions, I would love for you to throw them in here. It says, Sharon, I'll see you next Sunday. Oh my gosh, yeah, you got the message from my friend on Zoom but missed the Google Hangout. It's okay, we'll have another one. And we've got so many workouts here on Aaptiv that are also living on Aaptiv's YouTube channel. So I don't know if everybody is aware of this, but all of these Aaptiv lives are being saved and going over to A, IGTV, and B, Aaptiv's YouTube live channel. So you can go over there, you can access all of the mental health workthroughs, and you can access all of the amazing workouts that my fellow trainers have put together for you. They're really phenomenal. I've taken many of them, and I am always so impressed by how resourceful everybody is and how receptive you all have been to pivoting during this new normal. Again, it's not the new normal, it's the for now normal. New normal is what comes after this. For now normal is what's going on right now. It's making the most of the moment that we're in. So thank you so much for joining me today. Jamie is going to come on in just a little bit at 1 p.m. Eastern, and she's going to be providing a sweaty, fun workout for all of you. It looks like someone tuned in says, as a massage therapist trying to resume a reduction schedule, you can imagine the plans for A, B, C, and so forth. Yeah, and let me tell you, sometimes it can feel discouraging in the moment to be like, gosh, I have to pivot to plan B. Plan B isn't working. Go to plan C, plan D. However, knowing that you have those plans and reflecting on it later, I can assure you from my own personal experience, it is such an empowering moment when you know that you have done the very best that you could and you have made conscious steps to be proactive, not reactive. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next week for our mental health workthrough. Move forward fearlessly, spread the good word, and be the you know you're meant to be. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.